Hello, party people. Welcome into our Sports Burst Studios. I'm Gabrielle Amado. This is George D. Metellus, and we make up
the G-Unit.
Yes! And what an insane 24 hours it has been in Barcelona. We are going to hop over to Spain and check in with our correspondents, both Jamie Easton and Iñaki Angulo. We're going to try and get them on the line and get the latest from there. What does this mean for Barcelona? What does it mean for Real Madrid? What does it mean for Ernesto Valverde's future? Who is going to replace Luis Suarez? We're going to answer all these questions to the best possible capacity that we can. And of course, hop on the transfer train before we say bye-bye. All this on Sports First. That starts now.
Hoy hemos hecho el primer entrenamiento, ha sido todo muy rápido. Ayer estaba paseando al lado de las vacas allí en mi pueblo y hoy estoy en la ciudad deportiva del Fútbol Club Barcelona entrenando a los mejores jugadores del mundo y en un equipo enorme, un equipo que jamás voy a poder mejorar en cuanto a... Ya esto es lo máximo, ¿no?
This is as good as it gets. That man right there, Quique Setien, put pen to paper on a 2.5-year deal at the Camp Nou. He is now Barcelona manager in what has been a whirlwind 24 hours.
Yeah, it sure has, and it's unbelievable. I'm still shocked that Ernesto Valverde got fired, but it is what it is. Now let's see what Quique Setien does with this team. I mean, when you look at his record at Real Betis, it's a system that should fit the Barcelona style of play that at least the fans want to see him play. So this makes the La Liga even more interesting now.
Absolutely. And he is a self-proclaimed Johan Cruyff lover, apparent part-time cowboy, as he said there, that yesterday he was with the Cows and today he is taking over arguably the biggest club in the world. And just like you said, his style, his philosophy definitely fits the Barcelona club motto. It fits what Barcelona fans want to see. But is he going to be able to get these players to buy into what he's saying? Is he going to be able to manage these egos?
I mean, that's going to be difficult. The first person he has to win over is Lionel Messi. Then the second person he has to win over is Luis Suarez. And then the third person has to Quique. If he gets those three on his side, playing the style that they want to play, and convincing them not just of his style, but him as a leader or someone that can motivate, then the rest could fall into line.
All right, and I do believe that we have Jamie Easton on the line live in Barcelona to give us the latest there. Jamie, they have already done one training session in the books under Quique Setien. If I'm not mistaken, they are going to partake in their second of the day. Tell us the feeling in Barcelona.
Well, people are just glad. Most of the Barca fans are just glad that things can change in Barcelona. As you know, the team was heavily criticized since last season after what happened, and the club needed a change. The change has arrived. I do not know if Quique Setien is the ideal person. Barca fans don't know that either, but what everybody knows is that he wasn't the first option. That's why the club went to fetch Xavi, or why the club asked Ronald Koeman. But what is true is that after hearing what Quique Setien has said, after wanting to recover the philosophy of the club, Barcelona's roots, to play again pressuring up front, he has things very clear. So hope has returned a little bit to Barcelona. It's obviously early to say those things, but what we do know is that players have said goodbye to Ernesto Valverde. Wonderful person, wonderful human being, but most of Barca fans wanted him to leave.
And I want to pinpoint some things that were said in the press conference today at Quique Setien's presentation. Bartomeu made it seem like this has been a process that's been going on for weeks, that Ernesto Valverde should have known something would eventually happen. Meanwhile, Quique Setien says that yesterday he was with Cows. So clearly something is not adding up.
Yeah, it's not adding up at all. That's not news in Barcelona in the last days. Obviously, Quique Setien said today that he was walking with cows. That's because he's from a small village in the north of Spain. Don't believe that in big cities like Barcelona, cows go along the street like in India happens. But it's a huge surprise for him to have arrived to Barcelona. He has gone from his village, his small village, to train in what he has said the best club in the world. So that's been shocking for him, and it's shocking for the rest of the world to hear President Bartomeu, how he has said that there's been a casting the last months with several managers, and suddenly the manager that has arrived knew just yesterday. So somebody is lying here. And it was interesting also to hear from President Bartomeu that he said that there's been a lot of managers in those castings, and we've not known anything from nobody but one, from Xavi Hernandez. So is he saying that Xavi Hernandez is responsible for the media to know all these meetings?
Oh, wow.
I don't know, but it would be not very nice if he said that because of that.
Yeah, Jamie, I wanted to ask you, how does this appointment affect the presidency and the election and the whole situation in terms of the presidency of Barcelona? Because last time you talked with us, you mentioned something about Xavi supporting another candidate in that situation. So how does this appointment affect the election of the president of Barcelona?
Yeah, maybe the election war has already started with President Bartomeu saying that from, I think, Xavi today. It's obvious that Xavi gave his support to Victor Font, will which be a candidate on summer 2021. It's also shocking to see how the new contract of Quique Setién is until 2022, but Barcelona has just said today that there's a clause there that allows the new president of the club in 2021 to just take the decisions he wants, and there will not be a contract there to just keep Quique Setién until 2022. But the thing is that the war has started in Barcelona, but it was interesting also. I spoke with a journalist that knows Quique Setién very well, that called him last Sunday morning, and Quique Setién literally told him, I would go to Barcelona for 6 months without any problems, because that is my dream. And now his contract is 2 years and a half. Something is missing there.
Yeah.
Very interesting, Jamie. One of the first things Quique Setién is going to have to do is figure out how he replaces Suarez in that starting 11. Any word on how he will do that?
No words on that, because, again, I have to say that Barcelona has money issues. They cannot spend money on this winter transfer market. It wasn't planned, and at the moment, Suarez's injury hasn't changed that. That's why yesterday we didn't have an official statement of Valverde being sacked until 20 past 11 at night here in Spain, because there were money issues. The club and Valverde weren't arriving to an agreement, and those same money issues affect the possible signing of a striker. Barcelona says that at the moment they won't go to the winter transfer market. They will play with Antoine Griezmann or Leo Messi as false nine, and they will give more importance to players like Ansu Fati or Carlos Perez. And we'll see what Quique Setién says. He just said he just arrived. He wants to know the players. He wants to know the team needs, and they arrive to an understanding. But today we have no answer to the final answer of if Barcelona will go to the winter transfer market to replace Suarez.
Well, thank you very much, Jamie. As always, I'm sure we'll be touching base with you throughout the day in our other beIN Sports programs. Bye.
It was a pleasure. Bye-bye.
Take care, Jamie.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, just like Jamie said, Ernesto Valverde remembered as a man who was not only a great coach, but a great person by the Barcelona players who did decide to write a goodbye message to him. And I wrote down a list of who did and who didn't. On the list of no, Griezmann did not write a goodbye message. Dembele did not write a goodbye message. Vidal, Rakitic, De Jong, Busquets all didn't write a goodbye message, which is kind of interesting because your Messi's, your Suarez, your Ansu Fati or Carlos Perez is all did.
All did, yeah.
You can't take time away from playing Fortnite to go wish.
Michael
they're too busy playing Fortnite.
They're too busy playing Fortnite.
Yeah, they might be. Might be.
Interestingly
Griezmann
enough.
only knows him for like a few months, right? Yeah. So I wouldn't expect that connection to be strong. Dembele's not there because he's in Qatar rehabbing, so he probably doesn't know.
Well, maybe these players didn't have a great relationship with him to begin with.
It could be. Yeah.
Let's hit the comments here and see what you guys are saying before we move on and talk a little bit of tiki-taka, because that is what Barcelona fans are expecting to see under Quique Setién. Ahmad Udin saying this is not the right coach for Barcelona. Ahmad, please explain, because a lot of people do believe that this is the right coach for Barcelona. Raul Rodriguez saying Griezmann can play his actual position, Messi on the left and Fati on the right, no problem, as a solution to the Suarez problem.
So put
Interesting.
Griezmann in that center forward 9.
Yes, we'll see how that works. I think Quique will definitely take that into consideration. Barcelona will probably bring a development player, Jorge Wolf Hurtado. Quique Setién is someone, though, that does believe in the academy. He did at Real Betis, that's for sure. Junior Firpo, one of those players that he believed in, and
it worked out.
Yeah, exactly.
He's at
so
Barcelona.
We'll see how that happens. I do want to bring up a little funny fact before we talk tiki-taka.
Okay.
For those of you that didn't notice, Quique Setién is wearing a turtleneck, and we thought that this was a very interesting fashion choice. We decided to look back at what other type of managers wear turtlenecks and which ones don't, and if that has a correlation to their success. So we're going to bring the ones that do, and this list is quite impressive.
Okay.
Jose Mourinho, turtleneck guy.
Yeah.
Big winner, too.
Big winner,
Big
yeah.
winner.
Playing nice football.
This man right here, Zidane, turtleneck guy.
Okay.
And last on the list, this man right here,
You
Pep
stacked the
Guardiola,
list.
turtleneck guy. And then the non-turtlenecks, though. This is an interesting
Okay,
list because
non-turtlenecks.
there's some
Okay.
winners there too. This man never wore a turtleneck.
Looks like a turtleneck, but actually one of those sleeves.
Yeah, it's
a-
not
oh,
a
it's a
turtleneck.
neck sleeve.
Yeah,
Next.
Exactly.
Okay.
This
Luis
man
Enrique.
never wore a turtleneck. He was
Yeah.
more of a collared shirt guy. And the man we just said goodbye to, Ernesto Valverde, never wore a
That is not a
turtleneck.
good
List
picture.
was
So
stacked. List was stacked. Gabby made it, leaned it. Man.
I did not lean the list.
You lean the list?
I think that Quique Setién is on a great path wearing a turtleneck.
think
But
so?
let's get more serious and let's talk tiki-taka. Quique Setién says, and he said, quote, "The road to victory is always through good football." My question to you, George, is yes, this is all great for the ears, and playing this philosophical style of soccer is fantastic. If you get results, how long is this phrase going to go if Barcelona don't get the wins?
First of all, what does that mean? Good football.
Yeah, two meanings.
What
Two
does that?
meanings.
What does that mean?
Well,
good foot.
attractive, attacking, tiki-taka style football.
Oh, that's what he means?
Yes.
That's what he means. Good
I believe
football.
so.
Okay, because
Because this is an eternal debate.
that's because some people think Jose Mourinho played good football, and when he was at Real Madrid scoring 7,000 goals, that wasn't supposedly good football, but they were tearing it up.
Right.
So I don't know what that means. If it's tiki-taka, attractive, possession-heavy, Barcelona, Cruyff, Guardiola style football, then I think Barca's in trouble. I think they're in real trouble because if you look at, it always, look, they're going to be able to score goals. That's not going to be the problem. The problem is how much space they're going to leave in the back for a defense that's slow. Real Betis,
and
aging. Real Betis gave up a lot of goals. They gave up a lot of goals. And this Barcelona squad, you mentioned it, they're aging. Who knows what their motivation is defensively. They have injuries in that back line as well. So in good football, yeah, it might be fun to watch and there might be a lot of goals. But against some of the better teams, if they make a deeper run into the Champions League past Napoli, that defense might get exposed. And then it's not going to be good.
No, and Quique Setién's system has worked because he has convinced the entire team to track back. Let's be realistic here. Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez, when he is fit and eventually playing under Quique Setién, if he does get that opportunity, is not going to track back.
Right.
So how do you fill those voids? You will get a Griezmann to track back, who worked under Diego Simeone and learned just about everything under a very exactly. But these are the questions that Quique Setién is now going to have to answer.
I honestly don't know how it's going to work out in terms of his mentality and asking those players to do something that they might not be used to doing under Ernesto Valverde.
Right.
So we will see what happens. That's one of the many questions that he will solve over the course of the season. But he does have that tiki-taka mentality. I mean, when he was managing Betis, they led the league in possession, but they still weren't. They didn't qualify for the Champions League though. So different squad, different talent, but the philosophy, we have to see what happens.
Before we hop over to Madrid and speak with our correspondent in Madrid, Iñaki, I do want to ask you, George, what would constitute success for Quique Setién in this second half of the season? Is it retaining the lead in La Liga and winning a La Liga title? Is it Champions League or bust? Is it treble or bust? What constitutes success? And you Barcelona fans, let us know what constitutes success for you guys.
Well, I'm always someone who believes that if you are replacing somebody, then you got to do better than that person.
Right.
Which means he has to get to the final of the Champions League. Because last season, they got to the semifinal of the Champions League, right? Barcelona, if I remember correctly. In fact, under Valverde, they went from quarters
out to against Liverpool.
Quarters to semis. So if you're bringing in, you're supposed to do better, you better get to the final. He has to get to the final of the Champions League to be its success.
But get to the final and lose?
No, just get to the final.
A lot of negative comments saying this is not the coach for Barca.
Let's hit the comment section.
That's what I'm saying.
Jefferson Santiago saying Champions League. So Champions League or bust.
Preach.
Clayton Brown saying treble or bust. Expectations very high. Mosadi. Tiki Taka died with Xavi and Iniesta and will never come back. A lot of people saying that Quique Setien, even if he does want to implement this style of play, he does not have the tools to do so.
Mosadi is brilliant. Mosadi, I love you, man. You are absolutely brilliant.
Bromance brewing
because people, Barca fans, this is what irritates me about Barca fans. Y'all irrational Barca fans. You guys think you can still play the same way you did. Xavi and Iniesta ain't coming back. They're gone. And I've said it before on Sports Burst. Barca haven't even got to a Champions League final without Xavi or Iniesta. So this is what boggles me about why they fired Ernesto Valverde. You guys want to play a certain way, but you bring in Valverde, you can't play a certain way without Xavi and Iniesta.
So he makes do with what he has.
He did what he had to do with what he had.
Exactly.
And he fit the system to the players, and because it wasn't beautiful like y'all wanted, you fired him. After they lost to Atletico in a tournament that, let's be honest, was 2 letters, and I can't say those letters.
Right.
Okay? Come on, man.
Infer the letters.
Yeah. Beat.
Gabriel Basso is saying, of course, he has the tools to bring Tiki Taka back. So some people saying he does have the tools. He has. Go ahead.
Will Tiki Taka be effective though?
Right.
In this modern football, I don't know.
Anthony Romeo, going back to our roots and Champions League. Bavon Gray, he needs to win the Champions League. Israel Rosales saying quarter and lose, semis and lose, final and lose. He is predicting for Quique Setien. Not good. Harry saying playing beautiful football and winning trophies. I don't mind losing by playing beautiful football. We need our identity back. But that is, so for those of you saying that Quique Setien isn't your man, that is precisely his belief. That is his entire philosophy.
He better win champions.
Let's link up with Iñaki, who is live on the streets of Madrid, because when we talk Barcelona, we have to talk Madrid. Iñaki, how are Madridistas feeling about Quique Setien taking over at Barcelona?
Hi, good afternoon, Gabby. I don't think Real Madrid fans are worried about this move from Barcelona because I'm going to speak from myself. I don't think Barcelona had a managerial problem. I think that Setien, he has the philosophy. He wants to be a true Barcelona coach, and he wants to do it like Johan Cruyff did, but I don't think they have the tools, as you were talking, to play the style Barcelona wants to play. Now, today in the press conference, he said a lot of things. He looked more like a priest to me than a football coach. I think Quique Setien, he's good but not great, and I don't think he's going to turn the situation around because it's a problem of the players. I don't think Valverde or Luis Enrique in his final year were stupid guys. He didn't want to erase Barcelona's philosophy. They were smart. They thought that they needed to play differently to win football games, and now Setien is going to try to go back to Barcelona's fundamentals, but in the end, he's going to collide with reality, I think.
Very interesting, Iñaki. And I mean, at the moment, Real Madrid and Barcelona tied at the top of the table. So are Real Madrid fans confident now that they can win La Liga?
I mean, I think they should be confident no matter what has happened in the last few days in Barcelona. Real Madrid, they have turned around their situation, especially in the last 2 months. Zidane has found his way with different system involving different players, and they are in a new path right now. They are in top of the table with Barcelona, but right now, after winning this Super Cup, it might be a boost for them their feeling towards the second half of the season, and the team looks nice. There are a lot of positive outcomes from this Super Cup win, above the winning it. I mean, they did it without Hazard, without Gareth Bale, and without Karim Benzema, bringing a new system to the table. Physically, they look really in good shape. So, I mean, they should be positive around what's going to be in the next few months for Real Madrid, especially in La Liga. Champions League might be a different history. Liverpool looks out of the table right now, and we all know how the Champions League is. But in La Liga, this Real Madrid team is the best Real Madrid defensive team in the last 30 years. They are consistent. They are believing in what they are doing, and I think they are in good shape to win it.
Iñaki, I wanted to ask you, I think the tactics of Ernesto Valverde made it difficult for Real Madrid to beat Barcelona. I think Ernesto Valverde was unbeaten, if I remember correctly. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So now with Quique Setien, who plays a lot more possession, is going to be higher pressing, more space in the back. I would think that Real Madrid fans and even the club directors are thinking, tactically, we might finally beat Barcelona here because this is a team that they can exploit. The system of Quique Setien, they can exploit better. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, but I'd like to underline one thing. Right now, El Clásico has been a different story. No matter how the team reached to the game, no matter the feeling, Barcelona has been able to win Real Madrid in constant basis, especially a few blocks from here in the Santiago Bernabeu. But yeah, the tactics of Quique Setien might take more chances on Real Madrid, and that might benefit Real Madrid. But in the end, I think that he's going to be very pragmatic. El Clásico is 6 weeks from now, and he'll have a great glimpse of what this Barcelona team is about. He has an idea. He thinks that following his ideas and following the way he thinks football, he can change the reality of this team. But in 6 weeks, when El Clásico will take place here in Madrid, Quique Setien might have moved from his idea, or on the other hand, it can happen. He has validated all his ideas, and he go here, play under his system, plays how he thinks he should play football, and he beats Real Madrid again. The history recently in the Bernabeu benefits Barcelona. They even won with Tata Martino. You know what, guys? In Liverpool, we all know this but this is Anfield. Sometimes in Madrid, I think they could post another bat saying they even beat us here with Tata Martino.
Very interesting, Iñaki. Well, it'll be very interesting to see how this whole thing plays out. And of course, just like you said, El Clásico, 6 weeks away, live and exclusively right here on beIN Sports. Thank you for the insight, Iñaki. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Anytime, Gabby. See you next time.
Yes, for sure. So Ernesto Valverde out, Quique Setien in, Madridistas unfazed by it, really.
Yeah,
Iñaki says this doesn't really change their feelings at all.
It doesn't change anything. I mean, it's not going to help them beat whoever they play next until, obviously you got to worry about it with Clásico. But I think tactically, I think this is a matchup that when they do get together, I think that Real Madrid can exploit, especially if Hazard and all of them are healthy.
It's that kind of matchup. Let's see what you guys are saying in the comment section. Almanza Almali say Madrid beat Barcelona with Valverde in his first 2 Clásicos in the Spanish Super Cup. Yes, not in La Liga though.
Right.
Ray, can't wait to see what Iñaki has to say at the end of the season. Will he bite his word? So Barcelona fans thinking that this will be the difference maker in La Liga. Mo Sadi saying Barca went down the day Laporta left the board. So again, referring back to the board.
Too. I've heard that before.
Yes. Yeah. Jonathan Quintanilla bringing up a great point. Coaches don't win the games, the players do. And so once again, highlighting the importance of these Barcelona players buying into this man's philosophy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But the manager does have an impact as well. Not as much as the players, obviously, but the manager does have an impact.
And Maduddin saying, does this coach know how great Barcelona are better than Xavi Hernandez? I'm not sure what you're saying, Ahmad. So get back to us with that comment. Richard Murray saying, people forget Barca also had the great Puyol in that tiki-taka side. No one in Barca defends alone like Puyol. Again, highlighting the defensive issues that, once again, this man is going to have to figure out.
And Puyol was a great leader as well. That was another big issue, another important issue.
So you think there's a little bit of leadership lacking in this Barcelona team?
I think in this side, the Piqué has been deemed the leader, but he's not the leader that Puyol was. Puyol was a monster. Right. And he was physical. He could defend. He scored, obviously, when they won the World Cup in South Africa. He scored in some big games. So he's not Puyol level leadership, and they're missing that.
Jonathan Quintanilla saying, either way, you're not fixing the real issue is that Barca has no depth, which is interesting considering the amount of money that Barcelona have spent over the past couple of years. So this man is in, like we said, Ernesto Valverde out. So let's flip the coin a little bit. What's next for Ernesto Valverde?
Ooh, that's a good question.
The man who is being sent off with love and care from the likes of Messi, Suarez, and yet now he is without a job.
I think one of those bottom teams that are struggling to avoid relegation to pick him up.
A La Liga.
A La Liga team, yeah. I think a La Liga team that's struggling and the bottom three look like they are teetering on relegation should get him.
It'll be very interesting to see what's next
Manchester
for
United.
Oh, God, please, no.
Manchester United.
Mike Fuentes
No,
with
no,
a
please, no.
hot take
No.
saying Ernesto Valverde to Manchester
Manchester-
United.
oh,
I think
goodness,
Mike
no.
Fuentes needs to go get something checked
He
out.
needs some French
Anyway,
cheese.
thanks so much for tuning into Sports Burst. A very busy day that we're going to have here on beIN Sports. So tune into our coverage all day long as we break down what this means for Barcelona and the new Quique at the end chapter.
G-Unit, we out.
Bye, guys.